26-year-old Chen Mo is a programmer at an ordinary company, living a 9-to-9, utterly unremarkable single life. His only comfort is Wei Yang, the mysterious online girlfriend he met on a dating app half a year ago. The two chat late into the night every evening, yet they've never once video called.
Staring at his phone, grinning like a fool. Wei Yang, you're working late again tonight? Take care of yourself, okay?
A gentle reply soon arrives from the other side of the screen. This bond, never met in person, yet remarkably sincere, has become a rare comfort in Chen Mo's plain, everyday life. Chen Mo's buddy Lao Zhang, upon learning he's been in an online relationship for half a year without even knowing what his girlfriend looks like, can't resist teasing him to his face about being catfished.
Teasing? Dude, you've been dating for half a year and she hasn't even shown you a single photo of her face. Aren't you afraid you're being played?
Waving him off confidently. Wei Yang isn't like that. She says her line of work is special and she can't show her face. I believe her.
Then, on the most ordinary of late nights, a burst of perfectly synchronized footsteps sounds outside Chen Mo's apartment door. Moments later, several warriors clad in ancient armor, radiating an imposing aura, burst through the door and respectfully drop to one knee before him.
Kneeling on one knee, solemnly, young Master Chen Mo, I am Zhao Tai, hereby Her Majesty's decree to escort you back to the Dian Empire for your wedding.
Backing away in shock. Wedding? Who are you people? Who is Her Majesty? Is this some kind of prank?
Before Chen Mo can even react, the ancient bronze mirror behind Zhao Tai suddenly blazes with dazzling light, dragging him bodily into the mirror. When he opens his eyes again, before him stands a magnificent, utterly unfamiliar ancient imperial city.
Jaw-dropping. Where is this? Did I just transmigrate?
Staring at this magnificent imperial city that defies all common sense, Chen Mo's mind goes completely blank. After being led into a resplendent palace chamber, Chen Mo finally meets the online girlfriend who has occupied his thoughts for half a year, dressed in a luxurious phoenix robe, crowned with a phoenix coronet, regal beyond words. Wei Yang, the reigning empress of the Dian Empire.
Gazing at him tenderly, Chen Mo, I'm sorry for hiding it from you this long. I am the Wei Yang you know, and I am also the empress of this Dian Empire.
In disbelief. Wei Yang, you're the ruler of an entire nation? Those everyday little things we talked about for half a year, were they all real?
Wei Yang candidly explains why she used the Dian Empire's secret heirloom, the communication mirror, to reach out to him in the first place. As empress, surrounded by flattery and scheming, she longed to meet one ordinary person who didn't know her identity and would treat her with genuine sincerity.
Solemnly, these 6 months of talking with you were the most relaxed, most genuine stretch of time I've had in years. That's why I finally worked up the courage to bring you to my side.
Solemnly taking her hand. Wei Yang, whatever your identity, the gentle, caring person I've come to know these 6 months has never changed.
As the news spreads, the entire imperial city erupts. The court is split over this ordinary man from another world, with no background whatsoever, about to become the empress's consort. Many conservative ministers make no effort to hide their contempt and doubt.
Contemptuously, a nobody from another world, with no origins and no foundation, dares to be Dian's imperial consort? Has Her Majesty lost her mind?
Brooking no argument, the choice of consort is our decision. No one is permitted to question it.
Among the court's ranks, Chancellor Wang Yannian, powerful beyond measure and long coveting control of the government, has other plans. He shrewdly realizes this rootless consort from another world may be the perfect pawn, or pretext, to further manipulate the court, or even to seize the throne itself.
Muttering coldly to himself, a rootless nobody from another world wants to hold the consort seat? HMPH, perfect. I can use him to stir this court into chaos.
A conspiracy, aimed at Chen Mo and at the entire Dian Empire, quietly begins to brew. New to the imperial city, Chen Mo knows nothing of the elaborate palace etiquette or the cutthroat rules of court, repeatedly embarrassing himself at every occasion. Several resentful young nobles seize the chance to mock and humiliate him in public.
Mockingly, I hear the honored consort can't even perform the most basic court bow correctly. I wonder what Her Majesty ever saw in you.
Embarrassed, but polite. Indeed, my learning is shallow. I would welcome your guidance, good sir.
Seeing Chun Mo harassed at every turn, Zhao Tai, ever loyal in guarding the Empress, volunteers to privately teach him court etiquette, and even basic self-defense, hoping to help him find his footing in this treacherous imperial city as quickly as possible.
Solemnly, young master, this imperial city is far more dangerous than you imagine. I will teach you everything I know, to help you stand firm here.
Solemnly, Commander Zhao, then I'm in your hands.
Meanwhile, Lin Qinghe, the imperial censor deeply trusted by the Empress and renowned for his unbending integrity, stumbles upon several suspicious clues while routinely reviewing old archives, clues explosive enough to upend everything. The sudden illness that killed the previous emperor seems to hide a darker story.
Gravely poring over the files, these records contradict each other and are full of holes. The late emperor's cause of death is likely far more than the sudden illness in the official record.
Lin Qinghe resolves to secretly dig deeper into this long-buried case riddled with unanswered questions. To eliminate this potential threat quickly and stir the court into chaos, Wang Yannian secretly bribes several trusted aides to forge a batch of treasonous letters that would brand Chen Mo a spy from another world, waiting for the right moment to make them public and destroy this thorn in his side once and for all.
Coldly, once these forged treason letters come to light, not even Her Majesty's trust can save this consort of unknown origins.
A deadly frame-up targeting Chen Mo quietly begins. Just as expected, at a court assembly days later, Wang Yannian publicly presents the forged treason letters, righteously accusing Chen Mo of being a spy from another world embedded within the Dian Empire, plotting to overthrow the government.
With righteous indignation, Your Majesty, behold, these secret treasonous letters were found in the consort's residence. This man of unknown origins has long harbored ill intent, plotting to topple our Dian Empire.
In uproar, what? The consort is a spy. How can this be?
Facing this sudden, overwhelming frame-up, Chen Mo forces himself to stay calm despite his fear, while Wei Yong, who has always trusted him, publicly overrules the objections and stands firmly at his side, refusing to convict without a thorough investigation.
Brooking no argument, Chancellor, empty accusations prove nothing. Convicting the consort on a few letters of unknown origin, how absurd. This matter will be thoroughly investigated before any verdict.
Solemnly, Your Majesty, I hold no disloyalty whatsoever toward the Dian Empire. I ask only for a chance to prove my innocence.
With Wei Yong's support, Chen Mo joins forces with Zhao Tai and Lin Qinghe to investigate overnight. Through careful comparison of handwriting and paper sources, they gradually discover multiple obvious flaws in the treason letters that don't match Chen Mo's real handwriting at all.
Carefully comparing handwriting, the brushwork habits in these strokes differ completely from the consort's usual handwriting. These letters are almost certainly forged.
Solemnly, Lord Lin, then we've just seized the key evidence for our counterattack.
Following the forged letters trail deeper, the three discover that the special ink and seal paste used to forge the letters perfectly match materials privately used in Wang Yannian's own residence. Every piece of evidence points directly at Wang Yannian himself.
Solemnly, the ink and seal paste used in these forged letters are identical to those privately used in the Chancellor's residence. The mastermind is all but revealed.
The three exchange knowing looks, resolving to keep digging into the greater conspiracy while Wang Yannian remains unaware. Meanwhile, Lin Qinghe's secret investigation into the late emperor's death finally achieves a breakthrough. All evidence suggests the late emperor's sudden illness was very likely a deliberate murder orchestrated by Wang Yannian himself. His ambition has been festering for decades.
Shocked, the late emperor's sudden death, every sign points to the same man, Chancellor Wang Yannian. His ambition has likely been festering for decades.
Two seemingly unrelated cases converge at this very moment, pointing to the same mastermind behind the curtain. Realizing that Chen Mo's group has traced everything back to him, a cornered Wang Yannian stops hiding altogether. He secretly contacts several generals he long ago bribed, who control part of the Imperial Guard, preparing to launch his long-planned palace coup ahead of schedule.
Coldly giving orders, since they've traced it to me, don't blame me for what comes next. Tonight at midnight, we move as planned and seize the Imperial City in one stroke.
A coup that will decide the fate of the entire Dian Empire is quietly closing in. Learning that Wang Yannian is about to launch his coup early, Chen Mo, Zhao Tai, and Lin Qinghe raced back to the palace through the night, quietly warning Wei Yong while urgently rallying the remaining Imperial Guard units still loyal to the crown and untouched by bribery, preparing their defenses in advance.
Solemnly, I'll go rally the loyalist garrison at the western camp. We must be ready before Wang Yannian makes his move tonight.
Solemnly good. I'll go warn Her Majesty. Everyone, be careful.
At the stroke of midnight, the rebel forces Wang Yannian secretly launched their assault as planned, attempting to storm the palace, seize the Empress, and usurp power. Fortunately, the loyalist Imperial Guard, forewarned, stands ready, and a desperate, harrowing battle erupts.
Grinning viciously, after tonight, this Dian Empire will have a new master.
Roaring, traitorous rebels, you will not succeed. Hold the palace gates to the death.
Amid the chaos, Chen Mo, armed with the self-defense skills Zhao Tai painstakingly taught him and remarkable courage, fights his way through, finally coming face to face with Wang Yannian, who is personally directing the rebellion before the inner hall.
Coldly, you rootless nobody from another world, don't even think about leaving this imperial city alive tonight.
Unflinching, Wang Yannian, you murdered the late emperor and now scheme to usurp the throne. Today, I will collect this blood debt on behalf of the people of Dian.
At the critical moment, Wei Yong arrives in person leading the Loyalist Guard, coordinating with Chen Mo from inside and out, and before the city's people and the assembled officials who have not defected, she publicly exposes Wang Yannian's monstrous crimes, the murder of the late emperor, and now this premeditated rebellion.
Solemnly, Wang Yannian, your decades of crimes, murdering the late emperor and corrupting the court, will today be laid bare before all under heaven.
Ashen-faced, no. Impossible. How did you uncover all of this?
Stripped of morale and legitimacy, the rebel forces quickly crumble. The Loyalist Guard successfully puts down this long-plotted palace coup, and Wang Yannian is captured on the spot, thrown into the imperial prison to await final judgment.
Escorting Wang Yannian away, solemnly, traitorous rebel, your day of reckoning has come.
This coup that nearly toppled the entire Dian Empire is finally, completely suppressed through the desperate efforts of Chen Mo and his allies. Wang Yannian soon faces formal trial before the Court of Judicial Review. Given his monstrous crimes accumulated over decades, including the murder of the late emperor and orchestrating a palace coup, he is ultimately sentenced to the supreme penalty, in tribute to the late emperor's spirit and the countless innocents harmed over the decades.
Reading the verdict, the traitor Wang Yannian, who deliberately murdered the late emperor and orchestrated palace rebellion, his crimes accumulated over decades, is hereby sentenced to the supreme penalty, that the law of the realm be upheld.
The schemer who once dominated the court, his conspiracy festering for decades, finally pays the price his crimes deserved. After the coup is suppressed, the entire court's attitude toward Chen Mo, the once doubted consort from another world, transforms completely. Many ministers who once scorned and mocked him now come in person to apologize and express heartfelt respect.
Solemnly apologizing, honored consort, this old minister was blind, judging you by your origins. I am ashamed. I hope you can forgive my past offenses.
Graciously, you honor me too much, my lord. Defending this Dian Empire together, that is our shared blessing.
With the political situation fully stabilized, Chen Mo and Wei Yong finally hold a grand wedding, celebrated across the entire nation. Fireworks fill the sky, intertwined with the people's heartfelt cheers, bearing witness as this bond spanning two worlds, weathered through storms, finally comes to fruition.
Solemnly, happily, Chen Mo, thank you for standing by me without hesitation through the hardest days.
Tenderly, Wei Yong, however many storms lie ahead, I will always be by your side.
After the wedding, Chen Mo doesn't grow complacent with his new status. Instead, he studies statecraft even more diligently and stays attuned to the people's needs. Through his own down-to-earth effort, he gradually earns the genuine respect of the entire court and of the common people.
Gratified, the consort's growth this past half-year, this old minister has seen it all. He has become a true pillar, able to share Her Majesty's burdens and work for the people's welfare.
Humbly, you flatter me, Lord Lin. I simply don't want to betray the trust Wei Yong and the people of Dian have placed in me.
For the extraordinary loyalty and skill he showed in suppressing the rebellion, Zhao Tai is formally promoted by Wei Yong to Grand Commandant of the entire city's Imperial Guard, shouldering the responsibility of protecting the Imperial City itself.
Solemnly, Zhao Tai, your merit in suppressing this rebellion is unmatched. We formally promote you to Grand Commandant of the Imperial Guard. May you continue to protect this Imperial City.
Kneeling on one knee, solemnly, this humble general will serve with his life, to repay your majesty's trust.
Lin Qinghe, too, for his unbending character in defying power and pursuing the truth, finally winning the late emperor his long-overdue justice, is formally elevated by Wei Yong to Grand Censor, charged with overseeing the officialdom and upholding the integrity of the court.
Solemnly, Lord Lin, your righteousness these years, defying power, insisting on clearing the late emperor's name, we have kept it all in our heart. Today we formally elevate you to Grand Censor.
Solemnly, this subject will not fail your majesty's trust, and will continue to uphold order and integrity for the Dayan Empire.
Once the political situation stabilizes, Chen Emo specially asks Wei Yong to use the mysterious communication mirror to let his old buddy Lao Zhang cross over too, to witness with his own eyes this bizarre yet fulfilling new chapter of his life.
Jaw-dropping, dude, you transmigrated and became an imperial consort? I was worried you were being catfished, turns out you picked up an entire empire.
Grinning smugly, Lao Zhang, I believe you owe me an apology. Wei Yong never lied to me once.
Learning from this harrowing coup, Wei Yong and Chen Mo also work together to establish a more transparent, better balanced system of court oversight, to prevent any future minister from exploiting institutional loopholes to nurture treasonous ambitions.
Solemnly, this oversight system is the precious lesson learned from this upheaval. Never again can we allow such a tragedy to repeat.
Solemnly, with you here, and Lord Lin, and Commander Zhao, I believe this realm will only grow more stable.
After the coup is suppressed, Chen Mo also takes the time to personally visit, one by one, the families of the Imperial Guardsmen who gave their lives defending the palace that night, delivering the court's compensation along with his own heartfelt gratitude.
In tears, thank you, honored consort, for remembering ordinary families like ours. We will raise our son to be as loyal and brave as his father was worthy of the loyalty he gave his life for.
Solemnly, Madam, the Dayan Empire will never forget your family's sacrifice, and the court will always look after your family's livelihood.
In his spare time, Chen Mo draws on his knowledge from the modern world to share simple, practical farming and hygiene knowledge with the people of Dayan. Though initially met with skepticism, the methods gradually prove astonishingly effective in practice.
Amazed, honored consort, that crop rotation method you taught us. This year's harvest is nearly 30% better than before.
Smiling with relief. These are just simple principles I learned back in the modern world. I'm glad they could help everyone.
While assisting Lin Qinghe's investigation into the late emperor's case, Su Wanyan, a meticulous lady official who equally despises the corrupt, gradually forms a comrade's bond with him, and between the two, a faint mutual affection quietly begins to bloom.
Gently, Lord Lin, throughout this investigation, it's because upright men like you still stand in this court that the people can rest a little easier.
Slightly bashful, you flatter me, Lady Su. Uncovering the truth at your side has been my honor as well.
On their first wedding anniversary, Wei Yong and Chen Mo set aside the busy affairs of state for a rare idle afternoon, strolling through the imperial garden, quietly looking back on this bizarre yet fulfilling bond, from online romance, to transmigration, to suppressing a coup hand in hand, to finally becoming husband and wife.
Nestled against him, remember when we first met? I always worried you'd be scared off once you learned my true identity. Instead, not only did you stay, you carried me through the most perilous storm of all.
Gently wrapping an arm around her, Wei Yong, whether you're an ordinary girl or the empress of a nation, what I love has always been you yourself, and that has never changed, not since our very first late-night chat.
A group of children in the imperial city proudly present their own hand-drawn pictures. In the drawings, Chen Mo and Wei Yong stand side by side, driving back the schemes of the wicked, having clearly become the legendary couple of the Dayan people's hearts.
Holding up her drawing, innocently, honored consort, look, I drew you and Her Majesty defeating the evil chancellor together. Doesn't it look nice?
Crouching down, smiling as he takes the drawing. Wow, this is beautifully drawn. Thank you for drawing us so heroically.
Shortly after entering the palace, the senior etiquette matron sets up an extremely elaborate dining etiquette examination. From the angle of holding chopsticks to the order of serving dishes, every detail bound by strict rules, leaving the completely inexperienced Chun Mo fumbling and flustered.
Sternly, honored consort, your chopstick grip still needs practice. If you err before foreign envoys, it is Diane's face that will be lost.
Smiling wryly. You're right, matron. I'll practice harder.
Despite the endless mishaps, Chun Mo never slacks off on account of his noble status. Instead, he voluntarily practices etiquette every night. This grounded, diligent attitude gradually wins over the etiquette matron who once had her reservations about him.
Gratified, I never expected the honored consort, noble as he is, to be willing to drill these tedious rules so diligently. This old woman underestimated you.
Humbly, you flatter me, matron. I simply don't want Wei Yong to lose face before others because of me.
Every night, Chun Mo arrives punctually at the training grounds to drill basic self-defense under Zhao Tai, and through session after sweat-drenched session, the two gradually go from mere guard and ward to true friends who can speak from the heart.
Wiping sweat with feeling, young master, your progress this month has been remarkable. I genuinely admire that refuse to lose tenacity of yours.
Laughing between breaths, you flatter me, Commander Zhao. I just don't want to remain a burden who only causes trouble.
Despite his deepening bond with Wei Yong, deep in Chun Mo's heart lingers a thread of longing for the modern world, for his hometown and family. This tangled emotion often keeps him tossing and turning late into the night.
Gazing at the unfamiliar night sky, murmuring, I wonder how Mom and Dad are doing, and whether I'll ever get the chance to see them again in this lifetime.
Sensing this homesickness buried deep in Chun Mo's heart, Wei Yong aches for him. But she also understands that this longing is the most genuine, most precious part of who he is as an ordinary person. Learning of Chun Mo's buried homesickness, Wei Yong quietly uses the mysterious communication mirror to secretly connect him with his parents in the modern world, letting him learn his family is safe and soothe his longing, without revealing the full truth.
Hearing his parents' voices through the mirror, eyes welling up. Mom, Dad, take good care of yourselves. I'm doing really well now. Don't worry about me.
Gently, this is only a temporary measure. In time, I'll find a way for you to speak with your family more often.
At an important banquet for foreign envoys, one envoy famous for his sharp tongue and love of humiliating other nations' diplomats publicly throws out several loaded questions, trying to test and embarrass this mysterious consort of Diane.
Provocatively, I hear the honored consort hails from another world. What insights might you have on the art of governance? Do enlighten me.
Composed, Diane's way of governance lies in loving the people as one's children, and in clear rewards and punishments. Surely your esteemed nation holds the same principles as our Diane.
Chun Mo's poised, airtight reply not only skillfully diffuses the provocation, but earns the sincere admiration of the foreign envoys present. Even several elder ministers who once had reservations about him can't help but see this young consort in a new light.
With genuine admiration, I never expected the honored consort, though not born to nobility, to possess wit and bearing that yield nothing to any prince or noble. It is I who have been disrespectful.
This brilliant performance at the diplomatic banquet raises Chun Mo's standing both inside and outside the court by yet another notch. Digging deeper into the investigation, Lin Qinghe also discovers this is far from the first time Wang Yannian has used forged letters to frame political enemies. At least 3 loyal ministers who once opposed him were framed by similar despicable means, stripped of office, or even died wrongfully in prison.
Shocked, poring over old files, the frame-up methods in these old cases are identical to the one against the consort. Who knows how many loyal ministers Wang Yannian has wronged over these years?
This horrifying discovery makes Lin Qinghe's resolve to expose Wang Yannian all the more unshakable. To further stir chaos and divert attention, Wang Yannian secretly orders his agents to set fire to a bustling market district in the city. Fortunately, Chun Mo and Zhao Tai, passing by, notice the anomaly in time and together rescue dozens of innocent civilians trapped in the blaze.
Weeping with gratitude, thank you, honored consort and Commander Zhao, for saving our lives. If not for you, our whole family, young and old, would have perished in that fire today.
With concern, as long as everyone is safe, go home and rest well.
After the rescue, Chun Mo and Zhao Tai calmly survey the burned site, and the traces at the ignition point all reveal this was a carefully planned act of arson. Every sign points to Wang Yannian deliberately creating a smokescreen to divert the court's attention.
Grim-faced, this fire started far too suspiciously. It's likely a diversion Wang Yannian deliberately set, which means he's already secretly accelerating some even bigger scheme.
Solemnly, we need to move faster. One step too late, and it may be beyond saving.
Realizing Lin Qinghe and Su Wanyan's investigation has touched his core secrets, Wang Yannian gambles desperately, secretly dispatching assassins to kill the pair in the street. Fortunately, Su Wanyan senses something amiss in advance, and the two narrowly escape the premeditated ambush.
Still shaken, those men in black just now, their skills were no common bandits. They were likely assassins Wang Yannian sent to silence us.
Solemnly, then we've clearly struck a nerve. All the more proof our direction is correct.
On a rare quiet night, Wei Yong uncharacteristically sets down her imperial bearing and confides in Chan Mo the loneliness and exhaustion of ruling alone, forever bearing the court's suspicion and scheming as the sovereign of a nation.
Leaning against him, voice weary, all these years as Empress, the people I can speak honestly with are precious few. With you here, this heart of mine, always held taut, can finally loosen a little.
Holding her close, tenderly. Wei Yong, whatever hardships come, you can always lean on me as your shoulder.
Upon catching wind of the coming rebellion, several old generals, ever loyal but long sidelined and suppressed by Wang Yannian, quietly gather under Zhao Tai's command, secretly reassembling a loyalist imperial guard force, weapons at the ready, waiting for the moment to come.
Solemnly, Commander Zhao, all these years we've endured Wang Yannian's suppression in silence. At last, the chance has come to serve Her Majesty. Solemnly, my thanks to you all, generals, for your righteousness. This suppression will depend on your strength.
On the night of the coup, Chan Mo volunteers to personally lead a small elite squad to defend a remote palace gate the rebels are most likely to breach first. And with the martial skill drilled into him over these months and remarkable courage, he holds the critical line with his squad to the last.
Sword raised, solemnly. Brothers, tonight this gate must not fall to the rebels. Not a single step. Fight with me.
Shouting as one, we defend this gate to the death.
On that chaotic night of the coup, Su Wanyan, drawing on her knowledge of the palace's layout, helps organize the emergency evacuation of the elderly, women, children, and non-combatants, doing everything she can to reduce the needless casualties of this catastrophe.
Commanding calmly, everyone, don't panic. Follow the route I described and evacuate in order to the underground chamber in the rear garden.
Panicking. Thank you, Lady Sue. Without your direction, we palace maids wouldn't have known what to do tonight.
After the coup is quelled, the palace physicians work through the night treating the loyal soldiers wounded in the fighting. Chan Mo and Wei Yong personally visit the infirmary to comfort and thank every ordinary soldier who bled to defend the imperial city.
Weekly, to have your majesty and the honored consort visit us in person. These wounds of ours are nothing.
Solemnly, you are all heroes of Dian. The court will take good care of you, and of your families.
On a late night after the coup, Wei Yong and Chan Mo sit side by side at the chamber window, talking about the profound lesson this harrowing catastrophe taught them both. A ruler's true weight was never the power held on high, but the heavy responsibility carried on one's shoulders.
With feeling, only after living through this catastrophe do I truly understand, the longer one sits on this throne, the heavier the responsibility on one's shoulders.
Solemnly taking her hand. However heavy that responsibility, from now on, I'll carry it with you.
While confiscating Wang Yannian's residence, Chun Mo's group also uncovers, from an extremely well-hidden compartment, a ledger meticulously documenting his decades of embezzling the national treasury, entry after entry of astonishing sums pocketed under fabricated pretexts.
Flipping through the ledger, shocked, the embezzled sums recorded here would be enough to build another imperial city. How much of the people's flesh and blood has Wang Yannian scraped away over these years?
Solemnly, we must audit this ledger to the last entry. Not a single coin owed shall go unrecovered.
The recovered funds are swiftly poured by Wei Yong and Chen Mo into the long-neglected waterworks, roads, and other basic public works that had fallen into disrepair from the treasury's depletion, so that this wealth once stolen from the people finally returns to serving them.
Reporting with relief, Your Majesty, honored consort, with the funds allocated, our long-crumbling river embankment can finally be fully repaired. The people can sleep soundly through flood season from now on.
Solemnly, this money always belonged to the people. Seeing it truly put to use is the best possible outcome.
Drawing on his knowledge from the modern world, Chun Mo also helps the court establish a more efficient, better regulated courier and postal relay system, drastically cutting the time for regional reports to reach the capital, letting the court respond to the people's needs far more promptly.
Marveling, honored consort, since this new relay system took effect, regional reports travel more than twice as fast as before. Truly a great boon.
Humbly, these are just simple principles I once learned. I'm glad they could help the court work more efficiently.
The reason Su Wanyan is so devoted to rooting out the court's corruption traces back to her own history. Her father was one of the loyal ministers Wang Yannian framed to death in prison by the same despicable means. That family vendetta, buried deep, made her vow to one day win justice for her father.
In tears, my father was framed to death in prison by Wang Yannian. All these years, I endured in silence and entered the palace as a lady official, also that one day I could uncover the truth and clear his name.
Solemnly, Lady Su, the truth is finally out. Your honored father can now rest in peace.
Once the case is fully resolved, Weiyang issues a special decree posthumously exonerating Su Wanyan's wrongfully deceased father, restoring his office and reputation, and solemnly ordering his story recorded in Dian's official history, in tribute to a grievance buried for so many years.
Solemnly decreeing, Minister Su was wronged in his day, and we grieve it deeply. Today we posthumously restore his office and honor, and enter his deeds into the historical record, in tribute to a loyal soul.
Kneeling in tearful gratitude, I thank your majesty for this grace. Father can finally rest in peace.
Learning from the painful lesson of traitors within the guard whose lines were so easily breached during the coup, Chun Mo helps Zhao Tai establish a stricter guard selection and training system with far greater emphasis on loyalty vetting, eliminating such infiltration at the root.
Solemnly, this new selection system is exactly the lesson drawn from that painful betrayal. Never again will the guard's lines be so easily penetrated.
Solemnly, with you personally overseeing it, I'm confident this imperial city's safety will rest on far firmer ground.
During an incognito tour, Chun Mo makes a point of visiting a remote village to personally observe ordinary farmers' daily lives and their real hardships. His willingness to set aside the consort's airs and truly listen deeply moves the local people.
Moved, who would have thought the honored consort would personally come to our poor corner of the land to ask about our troubles? Truly a compassionate heart.
Gently, your hardships are exactly what the court should be worrying about. Since I've come, I will carry your troubles back with me, faithfully.
Back at court, Chun Mo reports everything he saw on the incognito tour to Weiyang in detail, earnestly proposing tax relief and relief grain for the drought-stricken villages. Weiyang adopts his proposal on the spot.
Solemnly advising, Your Majesty, that region has suffered drought for years and the people's livelihoods are strained. I earnestly ask Your Majesty to grant them partial tax relief this year.
Solemnly, granted. We shall decree tax relief and relief grain at once. Never shall our people go to bed hungry.
When the decree of tax relief and relief grain reaches the villages, the local people rejoice with heartfelt gratitude. Many villagers even jointly write a letter of thanks, entrusting it to be delivered to the capital for Chun Mo and Weiyang.
In the letter of thanks, thank you, Your Majesty and honored consort, for your compassion toward us humble country folk. This year, we can finally live through a good new year in peace.
With relief, seeing the villagers able to live their days in peace. That is the greatest harvest of our incognito tour.
With the truth of the late emperor's death finally revealed, Weiyang leads the full court in a solemn memorial ceremony, formally honoring the late emperor's spirit, a justice delayed for decades, finally proclaimed to all under heaven.
At the memorial, solemnly, Father, your daughter has finally uncovered the truth and won back this long-delayed justice for you. You may rest in peace now.
The full court stands in silent mourning. This case of injustice, sealed away for decades, finally comes to a complete close. With the political situation fully stabilized, Weiyang also orders the court historians to record this harrowing coup, and Chun Mo's extraordinary bond spanning two worlds, completely and truthfully into Dian's official history, hoping future generations may draw courage and wisdom from the story.
Solemnly recording, Your Majesty, I shall record this story with an honest brush, worthy of the trust, so that all future generations remember this harrowing yet deeply human chapter.
Solemnly, good. This story deserves to be left, truthfully, to those who come after.
Before Lao Zhang returns to the modern world after days in Dian, he and Chen Mo share a long heart-to-heart, talking through this bizarre journey from online romance, to transmigration, to guarding an entire empire hand in hand, both gaining a whole new understanding of the word destiny.
With feeling, dude, I used to think destiny was vague nonsense. After what happened to you, I believe it, some bonds really can cross entire worlds.
Solemnly, yeah. Meeting Wei Yong is probably the luckiest thing that will ever happen to me.
Inspired by the modern world's emphasis on education that Chen Mo carries with him, Wei Yong also decrees the founding of scholarship funds across Dian for children of poor families. So more scholars like Lin Qinghe once was, humble in origin yet devoted to serving the realm, can rise through genuine learning.
Solemnly, the founding of these scholarship funds was inspired by Chen Mo. From now on, Dian ought to give more children of humble homes a chance to rise through true ability.
Gratified to do something real for Dian scholars. I'm honored to be part of it.
Upon learning that the communication mirror's passage cannot be used freely, that it requires extraordinarily rare celestial conditions, Chen Mo sinks into deep panic. He realizes he may have to live in this utterly unfamiliar ancient empire for a very long time, perhaps never to return.
Panicking. Wei Yong, you're saying I might never go back to the modern world? Then what about my job? My parents, my friends?
Guiltily, I'm sorry, Chen Mo. It was my oversight. I should have explained this to you clearly from the start.
Seeing Chen Mo spiral into panic, Wei Yong, despite her own aching reluctance, solemnly offers to spare no effort or cost to send him safely back to the modern world as soon as possible, refusing to trap him here against his will.
Fighting back her reluctance, Chen Mo, if you wish to return, I will find a way to send you back, whatever it takes. I will never force you to stay here and suffer.
After a long silence, solemnly, Wei Yong, give me a little time. Let me think this through properly.
After days of careful deliberation, Chen Mo comes to Wei Yong of his own accord and solemnly declares his heart. Rather than return to that plain modern life without her, he chooses to stay and face whatever storms lie ahead together.
Solemnly, Wei Yong, I've thought it through. Rather than go back alone to a plain life in the modern world, I'd rather stay here and face everything that comes, together with you.
Eyes reddening, moved, Chen Mo. Thank you for being willing to make such a sacrifice for me.
After deciding to stay, Chen Mo begins helping with whatever court matters he can manage, but his unfamiliarity with the ancient bureaucracy produces plenty of comical mix-ups, including once submitting a routine greeting memorial to Wei Yong as urgent military intelligence.
Caught between laughter and exasperation, Chen Mo, this is merely a routine greeting memorial, and you delivered it to us as urgent military intelligence.
Scratching his head awkwardly. Haha. Clearly I still need to study how to tell these memorials apart by urgency.
Despite the many blunders, Chen Mo never loses heart. Humbly consulting several experienced elder ministers, he gradually learns the ropes of handling memorials and coordinating affairs, and his administrative competence visibly climbs.
Gratified, the honored consort has grown remarkably this past month. He now handles these administrative matters with genuine method.
Humbly, my thanks to you elders for your patient guidance. That's the only reason I've made this progress.
Before the forged letter scheme, Wang Yannian had also secretly spread a subtler round of rumors, insinuating that Chen Mo's very identity as a man from another world was itself an ill omen for Dian's fortunes, hoping to erode the people's and the court's trust in him.
Insidiously spreading rumors, this consort from another world, who knows whether he brings ill fortune upon our Dian? One cannot be too careful about such things.
Though this round of veiled rumors fails to stir a major storm, it does leave Chen Mo's standing among the common people delicately balanced for a time. Facing this baseless superstitious rumor, Lin Qinghe, ever known for reason and rigor, steps forward publicly, refuting the nonsense with detailed historical records and clear logic, effectively stopping the rumor's spread.
Solemnly refuting at court, this talk of ill fortune is nothing but the fabrication of schemers seeking to poison hearts. I urge my colleagues not to be misled.
Lin Qinghe's well-reasoned rebuttal also brings many previously wavering ministers back to their senses. On a rare day free of state affairs, Wei Yong proposes that she and Chen Mo disguise themselves as commoners and slip out of the palace to wander the capital's bustling markets, savoring the precious ordinary hours so rare for an empress.
Brightly, a rare day free of state affairs, let's live as ordinary folk for once and stroll the capital's markets.
Smiling, taking her hand, deal. Then we absolutely must try the capital's famous street food.
Out in disguise, the two eagerly sample every unique street snack in the capital's markets and play round after round of lively street games, treasuring this unconstrained, wonderfully light-hearted ordinary joy.
Eating contentedly, who knew the common folks' street snacks could feel more satisfying and grounding than all the refined dishes of the imperial kitchen?
Smiling back, that's the magic of everyday life, I suppose. No delicacy can compare with this ordinary happiness.
Just as the two are enjoying themselves, a sharp-eyed old man vaguely recognizes Wei Yong's true identity and nearly drops to his knees on the spot. Fortunately, Wei Yong signals him in time not to make a scene, solemnly entrusting him to keep her secret.
Lowering his voice in astonishment, isn't this Her Majesty? This old fool deserves death for failing to recognize you.
Gently, no need for ceremony, elder. Today I only wish to live as an ordinary citizen for once. I ask you to keep this secret for me.
After this rare disguised outing, Chun Mo's resolve to protect this empire, and its honest, endearing people grows firmer still. He comes to understand that what he now protects is no longer just Wei Yong, but the countless vivid, ordinary lives of this entire city.
Solemnly, to Wei Yong. Wei Yong, today's outing made me understand my responsibility even more clearly. From now on, I will protect this city and its people with everything I have.
Smiling with relief, with that kind of resolve in you, this heart of mine settles a few degrees more.
In a casual conversation, Zhao Tai shares with Chun Mo his family's legacy, 3 generations of loyal service guarding the Dayan imperial family. From grandfather to father to himself, the Zhao family has held the protection of the crown as its lifelong honor and mission.
Solemnly, 3 generations of my family have served as imperial guards. This loyalty is carved into our bones, it will never waver, not by half a step.
Solemnly, Commander Zhao, your family's loyalty passed down through generations. It truly commands respect.
Despite his distinguished record, after his promotion to Grand Commandant, Zhao Tai briefly falls into self-doubt about whether he truly deserves such weight, and it is Chun Mo this time who counsels him back to confidence.
Dispirited, what virtue or ability do I have to carry a burden this heavy? What if I fail Her Majesty's trust?
Solemnly, Commander Zhao, everyone has seen the loyalty and character you've shown every step of the way. No one deserves this responsibility more than you.
To help the whole court view novelties from another world, with a more open, tolerant mindset, Wei Yong and Chun Mo jointly organize an unprecedented cultural exchange festival, skillfully weaving fun customs from the modern world into Dayan's own traditional celebrations.
Solemnly, this festival is meant to show everyone, different worlds, different cultures, can embrace each other and enrich each other all the same.
Laughing, who knew these little novelties from the modern world could bring Dayan's people this much joy?
The conservative nobles who initially grumbled about this foreign customs festival, upon witnessing the people's genuine delight, gradually softened their attitudes, no longer rejecting this consort from another world out of hand.
With feeling, who would have thought these foreign novelties could add such joy to our Dayan festivities? It seems this old man was too stubborn before.
Humbly, you flatter me, my lord. Different cultures were always meant to learn from each other's strengths.
While organizing ancient texts in the royal archives, Chun Mo and Lin Qinghe stumble upon a long-buried ancient prophecy. It speaks of a time when Dayan faces peril within and without, when a stranger, from beyond the mirror, will step forward to help it through the calamity.
Shocked, the stranger from beyond the mirror, in this ancient prophecy, could it be speaking of you, honored consort?
Thoughtfully, that would explain why the communication mirror chose me, of all people.
After learning of the ancient prophecy, Chun Mo falls into a tangle of emotions, unsure whether he protected this empire through his own effort, or was merely a pawn long ago written into the prophecy.
Confessing to Wei Yong, honestly, learning about that prophecy left a strange taste in my mouth. as if everything I've done was just preordained.
Gently, Chen Mo, whatever the prophecy says, every ounce of effort you poured into protecting Diane, and me, was a choice you made, truly and fully, yourself. No one can take that away.
To keep the people from reducing Chen Mo's deeds to vague heavenly destiny, Wei Yong holds a public address to the whole city, solemnly declaring that every one of Chen Mo's achievements was earned through his own grounded effort and courage.
Proclaiming solemnly from the city tower, the consort's achievements were never built on some nebulous destiny, but on real ability, earned step by step through his own effort.
Cheering, the consort protects our Diane with his own skill, that's a true hero.
In his spare time, Chen Mo also personally visits the Imperial Guard's recruit camp, teaching young recruits training methods that blend modern principles with traditional martial arts, earning the affection and respect of these spirited young soldiers.
Admiringly, the training method the honored consort taught us is both novel and effective. We're improving much faster than before.
Smiling with relief, helping you young men grow faster. I'm honored to be part of it.
A few years later, Wei Yong and Chen Mo welcome the fruit of their love, a healthy, adorable child. The entire nation rejoices at the news, the imperial city decked in lanterns and festivity.
Tenderly holding the child, Chen Mo, look, our child really takes after you.
Blissfully, Wei Yong, you've worked so hard. We'll raise this child to be as kind and resilient as you are.
The affection that quietly bloomed between Su Wanyan and Lin Qinghe through their shared investigation finally bears fruit. The two hold an equally warm, simple wedding, with Wei Yong and Chen Mo attending in person to offer the truest blessings to this couple forged through adversity.
Solemnly, our thanks to your majesty and the honored consort for coming in person. This kindness, this humble subject will never forget.
Smiling, your bond was proven through hardship. We are heartily glad for you both.
Thanks to years of reforms benefiting the people, and the new farming methods Chen Mo shared, Diane enjoys extraordinarily abundant harvests for several consecutive years, and the people's lives grow ever more prosperous and secure.
Reporting joyfully, Your Majesty, honored consort, another great harvest this year. The granaries can barely hold it all. The people all say it's thanks to Your Majesty and the consort's blessing.
Gratified, this is the fruit of everyone's shared effort, pulling together as one.
In a casual conversation with Lin Qinghe, Chen Mo admits his understanding of leadership has transformed completely since he first arrived in this world. A true leader never commands from on high, but bends down to listen and shares in the people's joys and hardships.
With feeling, when I first crossed over, I thought being consort just meant enjoying an easy life. Only now do I understand. Behind this title lies responsibility and the duty to carry it.
Solemnly, that the honored consort holds such awareness, that is the fortune of Diane's people.
A few more years later, after confirming a way to keep the communication mirror's passage stable long-term, Wei Yong solemnly arranges to bring Chen Mo's parents formally into the Dian Empire, letting them witness with their own eyes their son's bizarre yet fulfilled new chapter of life.
Hugging him tightly, emotional, my son, Mom worried about you all these years, who knew you were living this well, even becoming a nation's imperial consort.
Eyes welling up, Mom, I'm sorry for making you worry all these years. From now on, I'll find ways for you and Dad to come stay here often.
Chen Mo's father is initially stiff and nervous around this exalted daughter-in-law, but Wei Yong's utter lack of imperial airs and her sincere, modest warmth quickly dissolve every one of the old man's reservations.
Gratified, this child may be empress of a nation, but she carries not a shred of arrogance. Chen Mo finding such a fine girl is his great fortune.
Warmly, you flatter me, uncle. I hope you and auntie will come stay often, and let us fulfill our filial duties.
After experiencing Diane's customs and ways, Chen Mo's parents decide to stay for an extended visit. The old couple even happily learning traditional needlework and farm crafts from the local people, delighting in every bit of it.
Enthusiastically, who knew Diane's needlework could be this exquisite? Mom has to properly learn from the local aunties.
Laughing, take your time, Mom, no rush. We have all the time in the world now.
As the years flow by, Lin Qinghe and Su Wanyan's children grow up alongside Chen Mo and Wei Yong's child as close playmates, studying and playing together. The bond forged between the two families through storm and battle living on in the next generation.
Innocently, big sister Wei Yang's little brother caught butterflies with me in the imperial garden again today. It was so fun.
Smiling with relief, watching the children so close, it takes me back to those days when we worked the case side by side.
Every year on the anniversary of the coup suppression, the Dayan Empire holds a solemn yet celebratory commemoration, mourning the soldiers who bravely gave their lives that night, while celebrating the hard-won continuation of the realm. Addressing the ceremony, today marks the day our Dayan Empire was reborn from fire. May the departed rest in peace, and the living know lasting security.
Solemnly, this commemoration will be held for all time, so that future generations forever remember how hard-won this peace truly is.
Chen Mo faithfully keeps a private journal, recording in detail his entire journey, from crossing over from the modern world to guarding this empire hand in hand with Wei Yang, hoping one day to leave this deeply felt record to his child.
Writing in his journal, murmuring, "When the child is grown, I must give them this journal, so they'll know how their father and mother walked this whole road together."
The yellow journal rests quietly in a corner of the study, silently recording this extraordinary chapter of life spanning two worlds. To ensure more people remember this history, Wei Yang also decrees a monument built in a corner of the imperial city, solemnly engraved with the names of the ordinary soldiers and citizens who stepped forward to help quell the catastrophe. So this harrowing yet deeply human story is never forgotten.
Before the monument, solemnly, this monument will remind all future generations, ordinary perseverance, too, can gather into a light that pierces the darkness.
Solemnly, with this monument standing, the soldiers who gave their lives can smile in the world beyond.
On a rare idle afternoon, Wei Yang and Chen Mo gaze at the ancient bronze mirror that once bound their fates together, reflecting on how it is no longer merely the token of their union, but a precious bridge connecting two worlds and two families.
Tenderly, at first, I only wanted to find one person I could speak honestly with. Who knew this mirror would end up connecting our two families, two entire worlds.
Taking her hand. That's the most wondrous thing about fate, I suppose. No one could have guessed one late-night chat would lead to a bond this long and this deep.
Lin Qinghe and Su Wanyan, too, often look back in quiet moments on this love born of a shared investigation and deepened by the shared pursuit of justice. For them, justice and love were never separate things, but a precious journey of mutual fulfillment, woven into one.
With feeling, at first I only wanted to uncover the truth and win justice for your father. Who knew the investigation would uncover our marriage as well?
Smiling gently, that's probably the finest union of justice and true feeling there is.
Many years later, Chen Mo is invited to speak to a class of young diplomats newly entering court service. Drawing on his own journey across two worlds, he stresses the importance of meeting different cultures and different backgrounds with openness and tolerance.
To the young officials, when you go abroad as envoys, remember this: different origins, different worlds, were never the measure of a person's worth. What truly matters is a heart that treats others with sincerity.
The solemn, focused eyes of the young officials before him make Chen Mo feel as if he's looking at his own past self, the newcomer who once entered this imperial city knowing nothing at all. During the trial, Wang Yanyan's defender attempts to argue for leniency, claiming his late-life lust for power had unbalanced his mind, but faced with decades of methodical, clear-headed scheming, the plea rings hollow before the court of judicial review.
Pleading, "My lord," Wang Yanyan's mind grew clouded by power in his later years. His actions may warrant some leniency.
Rebutting, decades of methodical, premeditated murder and meticulously plotted rebellion can never be explained by madness. This crime must be punished to the fullest, without mercy.
With the political situation stable and the wedding successfully held, several neighboring kingdoms friendly to Dayan dispatch envoys to formally offer congratulations, and seize the occasion to sign several deeper, mutually beneficial alliance treaties, raising Dayan's international standing another level.
Offering solemn congratulations to your majesty and the honored consort on your wedding. May our two nations' friendship endure forever.
Returning the courtesy solemnly, our thanks to the honored envoy for traveling so far. May our two nations join hands to build an era of even greater prosperity and peace.
After the case fully settles, Wei Yang orders the original ledger that exposed Wang Yanyan's monstrous crimes solemnly sealed into the royal archives. a permanent testament warning every future generation of ministers never to forget the importance of oversight over power.
Solemnly, this ledger shall remain in the archives forever, reminding future generations, absolute power without oversight will, in the end, breed absolute corruption.
Solemnly, with this ledger preserved, future ministers will have cause to stay vigilant, always.
Several rigorous scholars of the Imperial Academy also compile the full story of the harrowing coup into a detailed case study of governance, entering it into the Academy's formal curriculum, for generations of students to study closely and draw its hard-won lessons of statecraft.
Solemnly, the wisdom of governance and painful lessons within this coup's history deserve to be studied closely by every generation of students, as a lasting warning.
Gratified, turning this experience into wealth future generations can truly draw from. That may be one of the proudest results of everything we fought for.
After experiencing Dian's ways and seeing Chun Mo's grounded, fulfilled life, Lao Zhang gets an idea of his own, solemnly asking Wei Yong and Chen Mo to let him use the communication mirror to stay in Dian long-term and build a life here.
Solemnly, dude, I've been thinking I'm sick of that 9-to-5 life in the modern world. Any chance you could let me stay in this Dian Empire and try my luck?
Laughing, clapping his shoulder, sure. With me here, you think you won't make it in Dian?
After staying in the Dian Empire, Lao Zhang, under Chun Mo's careful guidance, and armed with novel ideas from the modern world, successfully opens a small shop beloved by the locals, gradually carving out a place of his own in this unfamiliar realm.
Excitedly, dude, you have no idea business at my little shop these past months has been unbelievable. This Dian Empire really is a land of fortune.
Laughing, look at you gloating. And to think I once worried you wouldn't survive here.
When the child reaches the age to begin learning court etiquette, Wei Yong and Chen Mo attend the first lesson together, and watching the child's clumsy but earnest efforts, the two share a knowing smile, remembering Chun Mo's own fumbling early days of etiquette lessons.
Whispering with a smile, look at our child, all thumbs, exactly like you when you first learned etiquette.
Caught between laughter and embarrassment, Wei Yong, don't tease me. It took me an enormous effort to learn back then, you know.
In his spare time, Chun Mo quietly teaches his child a few simple words and little games from the modern world, treating this secret between father and child, spanning two worlds, as an especially warm family tradition.
Teaching the child with a smile. Come, learn a few secret phrases only the two of us understand. This is a secret code from Daddy's hometown.
The child, half understanding but delighted, follows along, and this precious inheritance spanning two worlds quietly lives on in the next generation. Many years later, the Dian Empire has long sealed that near-catastrophic coup deep into the memory of its history. Only the quiet monument, and the story Chen Mo still tells the next generation, remain vivid as ever, and this legendary bond, begun in an online romance, weathered through storms, and fulfilled in guarding an entire empire hand in hand, will keep quietly living on with the imperial city's lights, for as long as the years run gentle and the realm stands firm. On another peaceful dusk, Chen Mo and Wei Yong stand side by side atop the palace walls, gazing at the brilliant sunset filling the sky, the coup that once nearly toppled the empire, and this extraordinary bond spanning two worlds, have now fully become an especially weighty, especially precious memory of their lives, a reminder to treasure this hard-won peace and happiness before them.
Gazing at the sunset, solemnly and warmly, speaking straight to the camera. This journey taught me something true. Sincerity knows no rank and no world. As long as you guard that precious bond in your heart, you can walk to the very end together. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit subscribe. The next one's even better. See you again soon.
The sunset's afterglow washes over the imperial city, returned at last to peace. This legendary bond, begun in an online romance, fulfilled in guarding an entire empire hand in hand, will keep quietly living on with this sunset, for a long, long time, never fading. Just like the love between these two, unshaken through every storm, and just like this imperial city, tempered by calamity into ever deeper peace and prosperity.